by 21, I made a meal twice. Your dreams, my
Listen to these pussies. You too.
to the sheep, gotta pray on and pray for my enemies, cause they wanna feel my energy. Lyrically, know when they head of me. I got that legacy that you can't never be. Put that on everything, this is my destiny. It was all meant to be. Fuck is you telling me you ain't about nothing. But my niggas, we flexing and starting. But we had to work hard and we're hustling. Put your car, we know that you bluffing. I got 2 cars, nigga, 2 cribs.
All right, welcome back to the Coaching Collective podcast. So today, Lucas and I just thought we'd jump on to, I guess, talk a little bit about where we sort of kick things off and how we sort of got into the space that we're in today. We sort of put together a little bit of a 20 to 30 minute kind of snippet for everyone to have a listen to and to get to know Lucas a little bit better as well. So that is where we are at today. Thanks for jumping on with me, bro. I appreciate it.
Of course, bro. Glad to be here.
Yeah, so we'll throw it back on you to start with, bro. Let's just get straight into it. Origin story. So take us back. What got you into training? And I'll sort of answer this on the back of your answers as well, bro. So what got you into training, and when did you kind of realize like how much of an impact it was having on your life, so on and so forth?
Yeah, absolutely, bro. I think I guess like it's a common kind of thing. I just failed as like a sports athlete. Like I did a few different sports, mostly like cricket, and it just never really stuck. So when I got into the gym, I was at a high school, started at about 19 or 20. So that would have been about like 2022, like the back end, or 2023. Super skinny. I was about 60 odd kilos. Had no idea what I should be eating. Recovery was it was nothing. So as you can imagine, I just kind of trained for about a year or two and just, got some good gains. Obviously, I was not under that stimulus ever. But yeah, once we kind of got around to that 2-year mark, I started to take it a little bit more seriously, started to become a bit of a lifestyle instead. And once I saw the benefits of bodybuilding, that's when I decided, hey, like I probably need some professional help. And that's when I got my first coach. So
Yeah, because you only had the one coach before you worked with Jude, didn't you?
yeah. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, no, because I've had 6 coaches, bro.
Oh, right. Yeah.
No, and like the only one that I've actually decided to stick with long term is probably Joe.
Yeah.
Had a couple of good ones in the midst of that as well, which I did quite enjoy. Got things out of it for different reasons outside of body composition, but I think that's where the value sometimes exceeds that of just the actual results that you see through with a coach, because even some of the best coaches will say that provided you have the right athlete in front of you and your programming's relatively sound, you will see results. As the journey to that, in my view.
No, I do agree. Like it definitely takes like, obviously you can be a great coach, but if your client's not gonna kind of come to those standards as well, like they might bounce around like a few different coaches until they realize like maybe I'm just not the right fit, or I need to try a different approach. Like that was definitely me. Like I kind of wish I took my first coaching experience a little bit more serious. But obviously you kind of live and learn there, but definitely grateful I was able to step away from that and go like, a little bit of time like uncoached properly, which was good.
Sometimes you kind of need that for the clarity as well. Whenever I've gone uncoached, I always end up going back to a coach. Because the amount of times I said I just want to do this myself and see what I can do and make my own decisions, and it just never works.
I think it definitely made me like a better client as well. Like stepping away from that and being able to like still maintain or at least improve like the physique standard at least. I think it just shows like, everyone can kind of listen to instructions, but you have to be like teachable as well. Like if you can step away from something and still have that knowledge and still apply it, you'll be better off.
Yeah, and a lot of the times you do get people inquiring, and as soon as someone starts bashing on a coach when they hit my consultation, I kind of question whether they're the issue or the coach is the issue. And oftentimes if the coach is the issue, you've probably heard their name before thrown up against it. Or you'll realize that like it's part of a PT package, or they're paying for a service which is not complete. Like for example, some people will come in, I'm paying this coach $50 a week, and then you sort of have a search and it's like, it doesn't look like this person's like a full-time coach. I wouldn't have expected much from it at that rate myself anyway. That's definitely the way I look at it anyway.
Definitely a value thing as well. Like obviously you can, as you said with the consult calls, like you can definitely see if, once you start asking the right questions, like, when you get into topics of like adherence, how much feedback you're able to give back to your coach and stuff like that. Obviously the important steps, once they kind of just stop answering, you kind of know that it wasn't the coach. But obviously different
Yeah.
circumstances.
Well, yeah, because detail and communication are probably the two biggest things for me.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, funnily enough, I just uploaded the wrong program to a client's file, and she was like, why is it blank? Why have you not why have you included these exercises?" And I'm like, "Oh shit, no, no, no. I put the wrong program in. I put the wrong program in."
Yeah,
Um,
that's good though. Like they were able to
yeah.
like just pick up on
Yeah.
that right away.
Yeah, no, because the program that I put in there was my partner's, so obviously there's no notes on that one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
yes.
yeah,
Yeah, no, for me, bodybuilding, I got into training when I was like, oh, I'm 31, 17 probably more so, but it was
yeah,
more just to be bigger I just wanted to be a bigger person, I guess, because I
yeah,
was also like not particularly skinny and small, just
yeah,
obviously on the smaller side muscularly, but I was never skinny.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
that sort of just fueled it as I saw the way that added value to my life rather than anything from a compositional ambition standpoint.
yeah, yeah,
Um, and my dad was the first person to take me to the gym
yeah,
because he wanted me to get bigger for football because I wanted to be a better football player.
yeah,
Although I
yeah.
never really saw that through in the end. Yeah, but in regards to, I probably didn't really develop a huge passion for bodybuilding. I never thought I'd compete. When I was 24, I had a friend encourage me to compete, and I did. Had
Yeah.
no idea what I was doing, and then following that, I was kind of like, I hate this even more now,
Did you did
because
classic? Didn't you the first time?
yeah, and I
Yeah,
had no idea what to expect going into that show. Like, no idea of expectations, what it would feel like, what I would need to go through,
yeah,
so on and so forth. So it was quite an average showing,
yeah.
to say the very least. But bodybuilding wasn't cool back then either.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
it
yeah,
wasn't like a commonly spoken about thing. Like everyone, remember everyone at the time was either coached by like Scott Goble or Luke Shembry,
yeah,
and there was no one else. Like
yeah,
that were the bodybuilding coaches, or it was just some guy from your local gym.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Because obviously they're like the OGs. Luke
yeah,
Shembry, I don't think he's as into it anymore, but he was a big boy.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if he's not into it or not, but I know he's not a bodybuilder himself anymore.
I
Nor is he
bet
like he's
he's
into
got. I think he
alternative
does.
methods.
I think he still does. Like he still does coaching. I think maybe with his partner.
Yeah, he probably does. I'm just probably out of the loop with it.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I
yeah,
think he was more isolated to Facebook, and I don't use that much.
yeah.
Um, yeah, but he was quite good for his time. But yeah, and I remember the show, like everyone was coached by them, and I named someone else, and it's like, oh, who's that? Why aren't you coached by
Yeah,
these
yeah,
guys? And I'm
yeah,
like, oh, I didn't
yeah,
even know that that's what the way that things went.
yeah, yeah,
Um, yeah, but probably for me, only the last 3, 4 years, I've really like become obsessed with the bodybuilding side of it
yeah,
because I never thought that I had the potential to really do it. I was always just a coach.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, like even that takes us into our second question, behind the scenes, what does bodybuilding generally actually look like? Which is
yeah. I think.
obviously more a question for me.
Yeah,
Like the preps are hard, man. Like they're hard. Like they test you
yeah,
mentally, physically. And that was what just the reason I'm going straight into that is because it feeds into the first one. Like when you have if you have no idea what to expect, you don't have a network or group of friends or coach around you who shares those expectation and the anticipated demands with you, you will go into that blind and you will feel the wrath of it.
yeah,
Because it will impact relationships, it will impact your health to a degree or perception of health or just the biofeedback in general. The reason I sort of like branch off into that is because when people think health, they think it's physically damaging your health. That's not to say that it's not, but like
yeah,
probably like I haven't seen it except in maybe some really high end guys who I know of who have really pushed the envelope, which most of us don't do.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, just that impact it's going to have on your lifestyle, the overall reality is going to be
Yeah,
significant. It's not for everyone.
yeah. I definitely think like there's also just there's a toll, obviously.
Yeah.
In terms of like I think that's kind of what like going back onto what you said about bodybuilding only becoming a thing for you in like the last 3 to 4 years.
Mhm.
Very similar to me. Like I probably didn't take anything as seriously as I should have until maybe like 18 months ago. And I've been, yeah, like going into this prep with Jude.
Mhm.
That's when I've just really decided to lock in with it. Even then, like it's like I've had friends and some family even compete as well, where they've
Mhm.
said the same thing. Like it's can be quite damaging. Like if you're not ready to kind of just make bodybuilding your lifestyle, not a
Mhm.
chore.
Yeah.
I think that's super important. Plus, if you're paying a coach, like you kind of want to make sure you're dotting your I's.
Well, you want to enjoy it too.
Yeah, yeah,
I see a lot of the time, a lot of people will define their lives into up till the end of prep and then prep and beyond.
yeah,
like the finish point of prep and beyond. What I mean by that is like they won't think of anything which is actually going to occur following the prep. It's kind of like, when
Yeah.
people go on holidays, like let's just focus on this holiday. When I get back, I'll work on my finances, my
Yeah.
career, etc. And I think that's a terrible way to look at things. And even with holidays, I think it's a bad way to look at things because for me,
Yeah.
like I get back from a holiday, I want to get straight back into routine and make sure everything's as stable as it is, and that gives me peace.
Yeah.
I think with a bodybuilding prep, we can't neglect things throughout the prep in the
Yeah.
hope that either A, we'll just deal with it when it ends, or B, everything will be okay when it ends or when it's
Yeah.
over, because that is the perfect way to taint that process, ensure that process is less enjoyable because you're fighting against a resistance all the way through, whether that be turmoil in relationships, turmoil in health, turmoil in finances, etc. And it's not unusual that prep clients come out of prep and their lives are a fucking mess. You don't want that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a terrible position to be in, but you see it all the time. And I remember one of my first coaches actually said that to me. And he basically said, just you want to keep your business as afloat as possible and as stable as possible all the way through, because otherwise you're going to have a hell of a mess to clean up following. And that was just a business example.
Yeah.
But it's just one of many. Like relationships are probably the worst one. The amount of
Yeah.
people that get through the prep and then at the end of the prep, it's like, oh, my relationship's over. I'm also quite depressed because I've been had this sense of purpose for the past 16 weeks that I no longer have, and now I got to go back to being a normal human being.
Yeah.
Um, but also, I think this is why a lot of people love prep because it gives them purpose. But you don't want that. You want purpose outside of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you
bodybuilding is
think
part of your life. Yeah.
do you think post show that can be like really kind of damaging if you don't have like a proper obviously a plan? Like you see it now, like obviously
Mhm.
besides the physical change, like people might blow out or something, which is like whether or not you have a plan, that could still
Mhm.
happen. But do you think like that emotional kind of toll, if you're not ready to deal with it, could be detrimental or
Of course, the emotional toll is going to be detrimental. Yeah.
yeah,
I think mental health troughs following the preps are probably one of the most difficult things to deal with. Like people fall
yeah,
almost out of love with the whole thing and they resent the entirety of the process that was because there's so much difficulty coming on the back of it.
yeah,
Um, but I think that just comes down to how well you set yourself up. And a lot of people as well will like cling to another show date following the prep just to give them like a
yeah,
continued sense of purpose. You don't
yeah.
want to be in that position either. Sometimes you can. Like it depends on the athlete. Like if you're a pretty advanced competitor, you could probably do that. But as a first time, a beginner, when you know you've got years to put in the work, you want to be improved every time, right?
Of course, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
But yeah, the emotional impact's significant. I'd say more so afterwards than during, because during you sort of just pull the veil over it with
yeah.
everything that you have to do.
Going like just kind of branching off into that, like it kind of leads us into our next question. Your prep from last year. So
Yeah.
obviously you did season A, like well for any preps really. What kind of lessons, I guess, can you take away from your own prep that you can, I guess, transfer into your own coaching standards or even like your prep clients, something you've experienced?
I think this is an interesting one, which you'll probably like as well. But
Yeah,
like I didn't miss a beat for the whole prep. Like no matter there was no beat that I missed. I think maybe the worst I did was missteps on like 2 days.
yeah,
And that would just be like averaged out across the next day. Or yeah, that would be pretty much the worst of it,
yeah,
really.
yeah,
For me, the level of like the pride I had in knowing that I didn't take a wrong foot meant as much as the outcome or the completion of the prep in itself.
yeah, yeah,
So one of the lessons was like, I guess if you had to like broaden it a little bit more, if you hold yourself to a standard, meet that standard,
yeah,
because regardless of the results at the end of the day, if you meet that standard or that intention that you set for yourself, you've won.
yeah, yeah,
Because and the self-assurance that I got out of that was quite significant too. It's like whatever I do, put my mind to, I can do. Because like a lot of
yeah.
people told me I couldn't prep because I was too busy and I had too many clients and the business had too much and I was too stressed. But man, to be honest, the prep made that easier.
I hear that a
Um,
lot. Like I
yeah,
hear that heaps. Yeah, yeah,
yeah. Well, yeah, no, because it's just the routine that you establish in a prep is phenomenal. Like,
yeah,
just I think the biggest thing I learned was the importance of that routine, that structure, and structuring your day. Like,
yeah,
I was at a point where my efficiency was the equivalent of hiring an extra staff member.
yeah,
Whereas, like, even right now, like, I had a bit of a rough day in regards to workload, and I wasn't very organized and whatnot. And now I'm approaching 5 p.m. and it's like, well, shit, I still got to keep working till like 6:30 at least, and then I got to
yeah,
train,
yeah,
and then I got to see my partner, and
yeah, yeah,
none of that's fun, really. Yeah, hard to really like outside of that. I think the biggest thing is just that resilience and that
yeah.
importance of that
I guess it's like walking the
routine.
walk anyway. Like obviously now that you've like
Yeah.
got a lot of clients obviously for this year coming up, but
Mhm.
yeah, obviously you can do it and you're running a full blown coaching business. So
Well, yeah, like there's no real excuses that people can make that are really valid to me. Like maybe outside of parenting.
yeah,
And the only reason I can say that is because I'm not 100% sure of how I would handle that because I haven't done it.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so I don't want to sit here and say, "Oh, no, you shouldn't be making excuses just because you're a parent," because I just haven't
yeah,
been through it. But I'm sure if I was to have a kid, I'm sure I could find a way to make it work. And it just comes down
yeah,
to how badly you want to achieve something.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
I acknowledge that if I ever miss a box or miss a beat, it's
yeah,
my own doing. Like I told you before, I've hardly eaten today. Like
yeah,
that, I
yeah,
had multiple opportunities to stop and eat.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I chose
No,
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 let's just keep working. And there's
yeah,
stuff that I can just do tomorrow, but I chose no, let's just finish it today.
yeah,
So on and
yeah,
so forth. So yeah. But personal, I just think the impact that it has on the personal growth, and you'd know that yourself from your
yeah,
own journey up until now. Like
yeah,
think of the opportunities it's given you.
yeah. It's huge. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
In and just like the overall just purpose you feel every day. Like
yeah,
I said before, you still want to have purpose outside of it.
yeah, yeah.
But I think that sort of can feed back into so much to make you a better person.
Yeah, yeah. I think like going back to, I guess, the making it a lifestyle choice as well, like
Mhm.
that's kind of what really set it apart for me from just going into the gym and training to
Mhm.
actually bodybuilding and then
Mhm.
turning it into just a small passion project into a lifestyle. Because once I
Mhm.
noticed like, yes, I can train hard, but if I'm not like, sleeping right or I'm
Mhm.
not fueling myself in a good nutrition, like if I didn't have good nutritional habits and stuff like that. It just I'd be putting out fires like all the time. So once I kind of got all those synced up, and I realized like, oh shit, this is how I grow. My routine got better, my time management got better. Every little aspect of like my life got fundamentally a lot better. So
Yeah, because you create that synergy amongst everything.
yeah, 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 just better
Yeah.
systems. Yeah, better
Yeah.
systems.
Like even one of the ones that people touch on will be like, oh, I don't have time to like do my food and whatnot as well. But I find it so much easier to have food prepared and ready to go
Oh,
rather than go
bro.
out and order food, buy food, so on and so
Yeah,
forth.
yeah, absolutely. And I think the same. I was grocery shopping yesterday, and I'm like, oh, like I just can't understand like people that would say like, yeah, it's too much. Eating healthy is like too much
Mm.
and stuff. And I think it's obviously just down to selection. You don't have to have like 5 star, meals every single night. I think it's obviously got to go person to person, but it's fun. It's a lot cheaper just to actually grocery shop, do your prep, or even just cook one night and then make sure there's leftovers for the next day. Something like that. Some form of like preparation makes everything easier.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. And I think that, yeah, just the fact that people can't recognize that is quite crazy.
Yeah.
For me, my day's like so organized down to the minute that like
Yeah.
anything that is beyond that is difficult, which is where
Yeah.
I'm not a huge meal prepper. Like I
Yeah.
rather just cook fresh, but I do work from home, which makes that beneficial.
Of course.
Um,
Yeah.
I think we need to go on a side tangent here. James just cut Ian Valier comment on his post. I don't know if you just saw that. Yeah,
What do you
yeah.
say?
That's pretty cool, isn't it? I think the reel had like heaps of likes. So check out James's most recent reel if you're listening.
Yeah, but
Um,
it actually blew up. Yeah.
yeah, no, he would definitely be a little bit excited by that. But
Yeah.
I guess that's actually another little bit of side topic too. Like James's that reel was touching on like force feeding versus being in a deficit.
That's
Like
awesome.
I would pick being in a deficit any day of the week rather than force feeding.
I'm at that point. Like, and
Yeah.
and it's also like same as you today, bro. I've had 2 meals, which is
Mhm.
fine. I've got a meal
Yeah.
sitting here, which I'll have after, but it's kind of like in my head, I'm like, fuck, bro, like I've still got a lot of meals to go.
Mhm.
This is not very bodybuilder of me. So
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
but yeah, but like even that's important because it's important to recognize that it's human regardless of
oh, it's huge.
how much we need to like how important it is to us. There's still human elements which make it difficult
Yeah,
at
yeah, yeah,
times.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
think in the network event we did last week, we were touching on like how the people that perform the best are the guys that can move in 80%,
Yes,
but
yeah,
consistently and be happy with that,
yeah.
versus the guys that strive for 100. Because the guys that strive for 100 generally do reach a point where
Yeah.
it's just no longer
Oh, and
viable for them
yeah,
to continue to do their thing.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
at
That's
least that's
right.
my experience anyway.
Yeah, yeah,
So sometimes just cruising along, but still making those forward strides during turbulent periods of life are going to offer like a reasonable degree of construction towards the goal more than you would believe, where as opposed to someone who's striving for 100 becomes incredibly demoralized when they're not hitting 100 and becomes
Yeah,
undone. And
yeah,
then their longevity is jeopardized because it becomes more of a cyclical thing that they do across a year.
yeah, yeah,
Um, which is you generally see this in bodybuilders who don't want to commit to off seasons, commit to builds, etc. You
yeah,
don't ever want to be that guy either. Because you want to improve. If you're not improving,
yeah,
what's the point
yeah,
of competing? Unless you just fucking love competing.
yeah, yeah.
But I don't know. Like I feel like if I wasn't improving, I don't know. It would lose a. It would. I would not want to do it. It would just lose a key piece of it for me.
I think as well, like Geordie, like Bitchler, like he tells me
Yeah.
all the time, like, it's a presentation sport. Like when we talk about competitive bodybuilding, like if you're not, taking that time in the off season to obviously improve your look, it just takes away from the whole point because it is purely presentation based.
Yeah. No, it definitely is. Yes,
Yeah,
and the entirety of the journey is what takes you. It'd be like playing professional sports and when your season finishes, not partaking in any kind of
yeah,
improvement. And that's where
yeah,
the players usually bound forward. Like
yeah,
I'm obviously an AFL head, but
yeah, yeah, yeah,
players bound forward through the off season. They go from one season to the next and they're exponentially better. That's not through necessarily game day experience. That's through their
yeah,
improvement phases, which aren't exciting and they don't have a crowd watching and
yeah,
they're not getting the momentum rush when they have a 30 touch game or kick a goal or whatever.
yeah,
It's when they're lifting weights, doing suicides,
yeah,
and doing contact training, etc. Very similarly, but I think it's a pretty commonplace now because back in the day, people didn't really do much outside of their preps.
yeah, yeah.
People used
Okay.
to hire coaches. I remember when I started doing this, people would hire coaches for their 16 or their 12-week preps back then.
Yeah, right.
And
When
then
that
as soon
cost.
as the prep was done, you'd pay him for the prep up front in full. And then when the prep was done, you just go do your own thing.
Yeah,
Yeah. And you'd
yeah,
come off
yeah,
everything that you're using if you're an assisted bodybuilder and then get ready to go again.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but times have, well, but yeah, there's so much more information now around bodybuilding. Like it is cool now.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
but
yeah,
I think it's cool for so many people because it gives them purpose and it gives them an outlet, and the social media gives them an outlet to share that
yeah.
and to get a bit of a, I don't know, get
It's
their ego stroked, I
yeah,
guess. That's
absolutely.
sort
Yeah,
of
like
a
I
appropriate way
think
to say that.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's obviously like as you know, especially for I guess like us and like coaching, like going back to the coaching side of things, like social media does take a massive part in that,
Mm,
and obviously marketing and
mm,
you want to be presentable. You want
mm,
to, if you're going to coach someone on, physique transformations, you want to at least show that you've done it or you can do it. And
mm.
yeah, no, that plays a massive part. But in terms of like the bodybuilding, how do you think, or I guess for yourself, like how did it evolve into the online space for you into coaching? Because I know you did PT for a little bit.
How did it evolve for me into the online space? To be honest with you, man, it sounds a little bit weird, but I think I've spoken about this before. But originally, I just wanted to be not tied geographically,
Yeah, yeah,
because I always had intentions of moving away. And then
yeah,
naturally, as I transitioned more into coaching, I picked up better clients and I had better competitors. And then I just had a few clients do really well competing, and I was always quite good at comp prep coaching.
yeah,
And then as I started to do that, I started to get a real passion for it. And then I sort of expanded down that route. And then I realized, oh, this is a far better route for me because it's something that I really enjoy, that I'm really good at, and something that I can really double down on. And some of the guys that I really looked up to, like I think Callum from Pro Coach, Luke Miller from No Switch, and those two are probably my biggest at the time.
yeah,
Um, I was like, that's the kind of position that I want to be in and represent that. And that was when I was like, yeah, this is definitely the path I want to take. And yeah, just gradually grew. But I had a few reality checks throughout thinking that I was further ahead than I was.
yeah, yeah,
Because you sort of think you know it all at one point and then you sort of get smacked in the face. And you also don't realize a lot of things in bodybuilding, especially assisted bodybuilding, that no one really talks about.
yeah,
So it takes until you have like a better degree of experience to really recognize that. Yeah.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, like I think until you have that real hands-on, that's why when a lot of up and coming coaches really think that they've made it, it's like you haven't, because I'm still learning. And I had that moment where I was really busy, but then I realized, okay, I'm not getting the results of the client. Then you start holding clients back from the stage because you're like, okay, I want to only put you up when you're ready. And clients don't necessarily like that.
yeah, yeah,
But you got to hold that standard too. Obviously, not everyone needs to win, but again, I don't want to put someone up who's not improved, and everyone wants to improve. I'm yet to meet a client who says, "I just want to
Yeah.
get up there just to do it and not improve." So,
Yeah,
yeah,
I did.
yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
think, yeah, definitely a good thing to like kind of like
mm,
cap off with is definitely just having delayed gratification. You're not
mm,
going to wake up one day and just, have your goals accomplished. There's steps
mm.
that you got to take. So,
Yeah, of
yeah,
course.
absolutely.
Yeah. All right, we'll wrap it up there. But
Yeah, of
thanks for listening, guys.
course, bro. Thanks.
All right, speak to you.